am ready. Welcome. Yes. See, people go crazy for this show.
Everybody
One man's trash.
Spilly. It's amazing.
I know.
It's
not just
stop.
me. It's, oh my God. No, stop it. All right. Second version of One Man's Trash. I'm Ryan Spilborgs. You follow me at Spilly Goat. That's CJ
Almost there, buddy.
Nikowski.
One of these shows you're going to get a first shot. In your mind, think
can't wait to
opposite.
get
It's always opposite for us. Like, I want to point right. Watch me watch. First shot. Yeah, boom, got it. Just opposite. It's like, be like George. Every instinct you have, do the opposite. Like
do the opposite. Okay, so we missed opening day last week. It was really sad, really frustrating for a lot of baseball fans, but we got you covered. We are going to go through the stuff that we have in the basement. And so I found some cool stuff.
Who are you wearing?
I went Rockies.
Are you wearing Russell Athletic again?
No. I went Rockies, but I did go Rockies pants as well. Check this out. I went full uni.
Oh, sorry, Majestic. You're wearing Majestic.
Yeah, I'm wearing Majestic. So
what year is that jersey from?
So this jersey is from the 2007 World Series.
Oh, check you out, bragger. Very nice.
Yeah. So
still fit?
Check it out too. Yeah, it still
loose.
fits.
Would you like wear that to like your kid's soccer game full uni?
If I want to embarrass the junk out of them, heck yeah, I'm gonna go full uni. But I have to make sure I gotta get a tighter pair of pants. I can't wear the same pants that I was wearing back in the day. I'm actually wearing. So let me take these pants off. Don't worry, I got shorts underneath. But so I'm looking at the old pants that I was wearing.
Yeah.
Remember when baggy pants and everything was like the thing?
Yep.
Back in the big leagues, like it started with Jeff Bagwell and then all those guys, and now guys are wearing like really tight pants.
Mm-hmm.
These are 36-inch waist to 42-inch waist. I got long legs, short torso, 34-inch inseam. So long legs. Yeah. I'd never had a 36-inch waist to 42. So this is, these are super baggy.
Yeah. But they have to fit on you. So they start to get bigger in the middle, obviously. The waist still has to be right, doesn't it?
It might be a little bit smaller. I've been on a vegetarian diet for a bit. But you know what's crazy about this? When you start looking through it and you start seeing how your body's changed. Oh, yeah. And I was looking at pictures of the World Series from 2007, and all of our uniforms look really big. You know, like Matt Holliday is probably one of the most jacked guys I've ever been around, and the uniform looks like he's all of it. The Michigan, like the Fab Five when they were wearing the big baggy uniforms. Baseball did that, and I'm glad that they're going to the more skin tight. It's all
going to come back around, right? Think about what Babe Ruth looked like in his uniform, loose, kind of messy, very similar to how you looked probably in 2007. But then we went through the tight phase, right, in the 80s, right? Think about how tight the uniforms were in the 80s.
Back in when you were playing?
Yeah, so when we first broke in late 70s, we wore the really tight pants with the elastic and in the old school stirrups. And now all of a sudden guys going a little bit tighter, bringing those stirrups back. So I would say by the time Luke and Tatum get to the big leagues, they will be loose. Luke's 12, Tatum's
They're going to go back to the baggy ones?
Yeah.
I'll just hand my son these. I'll be like, here you go. Here, wear those.
It'll skip another
generation.
All right, and they'll be loose. All right, so this is an SK Wyverns jersey. This is Korea 2009 for me. I also have, first let me show you the back. We love when our names, when you played Japan, your names were in English, right? So that wasn't stuff. It's just a little cooler when you have your name in Korean, right? To me,
how'd you get number 59?
Oh, you know what? That's just one of those things, over there, you just take what they give you. But I also had the matching glove, which isn't one of my favorite gloves, even though I didn't get to use it very often. It's still in really good shape. So I ordered it when I was there, when I was a member of the Wyverns. It says something kind of funny on the back here, and it's so dark there I can't read it.
Nico-chan?
Nope. So you might have a hard time reading it, but I'm going to tell you what it says. It says, "Do not be afraid of them. The spirit will fight for you." I didn't ask to have that put on there. I have no idea what it was. I will tell you this. The spirit was a huge disappointment for me during and I don't think it's the Holy Spirit, but the spirit that whatever they're talking about on that glove really let me down. It didn't happen for me over there with the SK Wyverns. I actually got released in the middle of that season, and I was okay with it. I wanted to go home. Just wasn't working out for me at all in Korea. But I'll tell you one quick story, and of course we got a ton of them. But so I'm there, and I got put in the bullpen. I was supposed to be a starter. That wasn't working out, so I got put in the bullpen. And sitting down there, and I get up like in the seventh inning. I could see an opportunity where I might have to go in the game. Get up in the seventh inning. We're at home, so it's top of the seventh. And I don't go in the game, sit back down, right? Game keeps going on. I'm just sitting on the bench just like this. Don't even have my hat on anymore. We hit in the bottom of the 7th inning. We pitched the top of the 8th. We hit the bottom of the 8th. So think about how much time now has passed by. We get to the top of the 9th inning. There's a left-handed reliever out there. So I'm like, all right, I'm definitely not pitching now, right? He's going, cruising along. All of a sudden, he starts getting in trouble, right? Phone rings. CJ. Not CJ, get up. CJ, you're in the game. I am literally sitting like this, Spilly, in the dugout, or excuse me, in the bullpen in right field. I have no hat on. My gloves like down there as well. I'm just sitting there watching the game. I have been throwing a baseball in at least a half hour. And my manager says, you're in the game. And I was like, what? My bullpen coach kind of looked at me. He knew that was kind of bull crap too. I was like, are you kidding me? And so I grabbed my glove and my hat and I tried out to the mound. I'm like, all right, I get my 7 or 8 pitches and I'll figure out a way to get through it. It was a disaster, understandably so. I walked a couple guys. It was a huge mess. I was super pissed off. And ended up walking home, which is like a 30-minute walk to my apartment. So I'm walking through the streets of Incheon, South Korea, getting back to the Lotte Castle where I lived, which is a really cool place. And I get a phone call from my translator that I'm getting sent down to the minor leagues based on how that outing went. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, is anybody else going to step up and say what happened there was absolute bull crap? That I just sat still for 35 minutes and then was asked to go straight into a game without warming up. So even though I love this jersey, I love this glove, the spirit didn't help me out at all. Didn't fight for me. It was a disaster. It wasn't a great experience, but I did love the city. I loved the ballpark, and that's of course SK is where the left-hander with the St. Louis Cardinals now, Kim. I actually played with him over there.
That's right.
He was like
nasty slider with the Cardinals.
So cool jersey. Love having my name in Korean on the back, but not a particularly great baseball experience.
No, and I want to find out how you got the nickname Nico Chan.
Anybody in Japan, I'm surprised you didn't run across that. So Chan they put on for like kids. So they'll take anything of your last name. Okay. So it's kind of more of a joke, right? You wouldn't say that to an adult. You put Chan on, somebody that's younger. So Spilly Chan, like for your kids.
I was always Spilly-san.
Yeah,
or
as sir,
or Baka.
Because you looked old, yeah. Because they thought
Baka,
you were dumb.
No, Baka means dumb.
Yeah, Baka Gaijing. I'm a foreigner. I know. I've heard it many times.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the phrase. You would hear guys talking, and then all of a sudden you hear like Baka Gaijing. Like, I heard that. I heard what you said.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Kind of. Okay, so opening day stuff. This isn't an opening day thing, but it follows a story of how I made it to the big leagues. And I think I've shared this. This is you talk about people that you really admire, really like. And so.
Nice.
See that?
Pre-Hall of Fame signature.
Larry Walker, Hall of Famer.
Uh-huh.
And so hanging in my house and seeing a. Let's just say I got one of them, okay? So actually, I had 2 of them.
Oh.
And what was amazing was in 2005, the year I made it to the big leagues, I had these Larry Walker bats, these LW33s. This is this one was made in 2003. And they were pretty big bats. They're 34.5, 32.5 ounces. I'm 6 foot, 190. I'm not big, but like back in the day, guys used to swing these like bigger bats. I have some bigger bats I'll show you later. But like this bat for me, I was accustomed to swinging a 33.5 inch bat, 31.5 ounces. And one of my teammates, his name is Sean Barker, on the AA team. So I have a pretty decent spring training. I'm also 24, heading to be 25, going into AA. And I'm just trying to be
the old man of the group.
I'm the old man of the group, and I'm just trying to be the 4th outfielder. And so Sean pulls out this Larry Walker bat that I've had in my bat bag for a while, and I had 2 of them. And he's like, hey, you got to swing this thing. So I was like, all right. So unfortunately, Sean is the one that ended up getting hurt that gave me the opportunity to play. So I played for the next 3 months, ended up getting moved up to AAA, all using the same bat.
Come on.
The Larry Walker bat never broke in AA. One bat. It was leading the league in like hits and everything. Go up to AAA, still using the same bat, never broke, and eventually it broke on my major league debut, which was this bat. This is my bat.
So you used that for those 3+ months or whatever it was, and don't break it, which is a miracle. I mean, beyond how often are you breaking a bat, or through a course? If you're using the same bat, how long would a bat last you?
Maybe 2 weeks.
Couple weeks, right? So you now go 3 months or so in the minor leagues with the same bat. It gets you to the big leagues, and in your debut, you break it.
Yeah, I break this one.
That's amazing, man.
So I keep it, and he signs it. So
when did you ask him to sign it?
When did I ask him to sign it?
Like right around that time, or did you wait later?
No, I waited later because at that point it was 2005. Where was Larry? Larry was, I think he was already traded by that time.
St. Louis?
To St. Louis. So I got him to sign at some point. But anyways, pretty cool.
How many hits with that? Any big league hits with that bat?
With this one, no. This one died. Eric Milton blew it up. I'll find a video.
Oh, nice. Little lefty cutter coming in on you. Did you enjoy that?
Smash.
Yeah. That's a good time. All right. So here's technically this is my first item. I got traded to Detroit my first year in 1995. Went from Cincinnati, got traded over to Detroit. And when I walked into that clubhouse, there was kind of a turnover going on at the time. A lot of the old guard was still there. I think I mentioned this last time, but it was Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, Mike Henneman was there. Travis Ryman was on that team. I had gotten traded for David Wells, who was one of their guys. Kirk Gibson was on that team. He actually retired a couple of weeks later, I think after he saw my tired act. But Cecil Fielder was also on that team in 1995 and got to play with him also a little bit in 1996. And Cec was awesome. Great dude, cool guy, kind of larger than life, Big Daddy Cecil Fielder. And, I had played with a bunch of superstars in Cincinnati, but it was only for about a month and a half before I got sent back down. We talked about that, Deion Sanders, Barry Larkin. There's some big names on that team. But Cecil Fielder, certainly a big name at the time and huge in Detroit. But he was good to me. He's a good guy. He gave me some crap, gave me some rookie crap here and there, but he made it fun, not necessarily in a bad way. But anyway, he was a cigar smoker. He
dressed you up.
They got me twice, actually, which is bull crap. But anyway, that's fine. And he even made fun of he's like, oh, did I get you last year? My bad, dude. But anyway, it's fine. It is what it is.
You were here. It's hard to tell from lefties on that. Okay.
He made it fun. But anyway, big cigar smoker, Cecil Fielder. And so Cohiba, he got himself his own cigar label. Now, it's not his own label. It's a Cohiba. Now, it's a little bright here, so it might be tough to see. I'll take a better picture of it so you can see it. But anyway, it says his name on it. This is, and I don't speak, you speak Spanish. Can you read this? It says, Hecho es specially made for, probably.
Yeah.
And then it says Big Daddy in cursive on it. So I've had this
that's awesome.
Cecil Fielder Cohiba cigar. Now, of course, when I was there in Detroit, at that time, that's when Prince was like 11 or 12 years old. I used to probably play with Prince more than I played or hung out with Cecil. Prince was, I might have been closer in age. I was only about 10 years older than him. And so we'd go out there and we'd fool around and have fun around the old ballpark. And of course, as the legend goes, he was hitting balls out of Tiger Stadium when he was there as a 12-year-old. But what was cool then is I got to face him later as he was on his way up and I was kind of on my way out. I actually got to face him in the minor leagues. I hadn't seen him probably in a decade at that point. We had to face him in the minor leagues as well. And one of the cool Cecil Fielder, Prince Fielder stories is that they finished their careers with the same exact amount of home runs.
That is cool.
Yeah. So anyway, kind of cool little item. I didn't take great care.
Underrated. Prince Fielder, way underrated.
Yeah. I probably should have put this in a humidor somewhere. I kept it in that locker so it's really dried out.
It's like smoking sawdust. That'd be great.
The Big Daddy Cohiba, one of my little favorite items. Great guy, great teammate, and fortunate to have spent some time with him.
All right, so I have an item from 2008, and these are the shoes I wore 2008. And what's cool about these?
Plastics? You wore plastics?
I stole them.
Oh. That's a pretty cool logo he's got going, though.
Yeah, so Tula had his own shoes. These are the Nike special makes, and now pretty much anybody gets special makes. But what ended up happening to me wearing these things was eventually later on in my career, because Tula would give me some sweet shoes, I wore a pair that gave me plantar fasciitis.
Nice.
Because his feet are smaller than my feet, but I liked his shoes so much that I wanted to wear them. So I have these. I'm trying to see what it doesn't say his shoe size because they're special made, so they're obviously catered to his
size.
Oh no, they're size 11. Yeah, so I'm an 11.5. He was wearing 11, and eventually a pair like this gave yours truly plantar fasciitis, which evenally knocked me out.
So, I mean, it's a great player. Obviously, we know that the injuries were a problem and really cut into his legacy. And not only did he get... No. Troy Tulowitzki, right?
Tula.
So not only did he get hurt a lot, but he actually got his teammates hurt as well, apparently.
Yeah, he hurt me. Yeah,
that's
amazing. Cut me deep. But these
stretch those out?
Still...
You ever try to put him in the shoe stretcher?
Well, I mean, look, my feet aren't wide; they're long. Yeah. So, like stretching them out, you can't stretch out distance. You can stretch out the sides. But these are sweet, huh? For opening day?
Yeah, they look really nice. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, for you, probably worth the plantar fasciitis. Did you get any DL time for that?
I got a month, but.
So maybe it worked in your favor. An extra month, who knows if we would have got that month or not, right? You never know.
No, if I didn't wear it, if I didn't have plantar fasciitis, I'd still be playing.
Still now? Spilly. Let's be honest. Not now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
they look cool, though, and it's amazing. All right. I actually have 2 more items. I'm going to go, since I went with the cigar, I'm gonna stay with the things that make you feel good. And I know you probably have some of these as well. So anyway, this one, 2 things here that kind of go together. Nothing fantastic here. If anything, kind of bad memories here. But this is a bottle of champagne from 2004 when we clinched the division with the New York Yankees. I actually have one that's full and one that's empty. Now, I was just more of a observer at that point. I struggled when I was there, but it was a dream come true for me, for a kid growing up in New York, to be able to go play for that team and play for the Yankees. And I allowed myself, I was
best ERA in the history of by a lefty, right?
That's the Mets, buddy. No, just any pitcher for the Mets. But for the Yankees, okay. No, definitely not. It went in the opposite direction. But I allowed myself, I was always pretty tough on myself, probably my own worst critic. And at that point, like I said, I wasn't a contributor at all. I was really scuffling. But it was September, so I got to stay. And I allowed myself to enjoy that moment more than I usually would. You've been in these champagne celebrations. You never know when you're going to be in another one. So just you make the most of it. So anyway, I saved this bottle from 2004. Obviously, things did not end particularly well. The only time...
How many of those did you drink?
What'd you say?
How many of those Corbels did you drink during the celebration?
Who knows? Hard to say. But, of course, that was the year that the Boston Red Sox came back from being down 3-0. We've never seen it in our game. The other bottle of champagne that I have, then this one is actually full. Right, so I got a bottle of Dom here. All right, I don't know if you can see that or not. No, it's a 1985 bottle, but this bottle actually was given to me in 1994 after I got drafted by my dad's boss. And my plan was, I'm like, all right, I'm going to save it. Not that I know how to save these things properly. I'm sure it's an absolute disgusting mess in there right now. Right? I'm sure there's probably a piece of cork in there. It's so dry. But anyway, my dad's boss gave me this bottle of Dom when I got drafted, which I didn't know. Based where I came from, I didn't know. That just seemed like a big deal to me. And so I saved it. I put it in the box. And I said, all right, when I retire, I told my wife we're going to pop this thing open and drink it, which obviously we still have it. Now, my dad ended up getting fired from that job. The company got bought out and they eliminated his position. So he didn't have the fondest memories necessarily of his boss anymore. But I've been holding on to this bottle now for what would be 26 years this June. So long time bottle. We
got a Google search, like how long can something like that last?
Well, I'm sure there's a way to store it properly, which I haven't. It's been sitting in this box like in my pantry for a while, so it can't be good. But we'll have to come up with something else. Another reason, maybe for like our 1,000th like loud out show or a 500th one man's trash. Maybe we will pop it open. So it is cigars and champagne so far here for me today.
So I had opening day.
Probably don't taste good though.
Yeah, and I had how I made it to the big leagues with Walker's bat and how I got out of the big leagues with Tula Shoes.
Yeah.
I did find some, I do have the sliding gloves that might be a giveaway. I think I want to give those away. And then I found this the shirsey. It's a cargo one.
Wait. Can we please back it up? We had this conversation last time. It's jersey. It's a shirt.
It's a shirt Z.
No. It's a jersey. It's a shirt jersey.
It's a shirt Z.
Yeah, jersey. Trust me on this. I've had Adam Mendelson, who we both love and adore, producer over at MLB Network Radio. We've gone through this conversation. It's a jersey. There's no T.
Just like I cannot say growing.
Well, I'm not saying you're saying it wrong. I think you got some bad information.
Groin.
I'm here to help the world. Groin, yeah. Join.
Groin.
Okay. So you're going to give that away. What do you got? Is that a one size fits all?
It's a cargo T-shirt. Jersey.
Oh, okay. Nice. Very nice. From so what year we talking?
I'd love to give this away.
Is it, what size?
I'd love to get this.
Much like the gloves, one size fits all?
Youth large. So if you have a kid out there that wants an old Colorado Rockies cargo jersey, be happy to give
Definitely not jersey. I actually have one more item for you before we get out of here. This is a picture from probably around, let's call it 1980. I pulled this story, I did a Road to the Show with Mike Farron on MLB Network Radio, and I brought this up, and this is kind of how I fell in love with baseball. When I was about 7 years old, my father was in the Navy. He was a recruiter at that point in his life. He was in the Navy for 20 years, but toward the end of his career, he worked as a recruiter, and there was a bunch of recruits that were getting ready to go in, and they had Willie Randolph, who was the second baseman for the Yankees at the time, come in and speak to the recruits. And so my dad brought me in that day. It must have been in the summer. School was out. And I sat there and listened. I was really bored, And at one point, I actually said out loud, "When are we going home?" Which my father shot me a look that, if looks get killed, there would be no one man's trash, and there would be no loud outs, and there would be no SK Wyverns jersey and the spirit that wasn't helping me in 2009. Like, he was not happy, right? So that didn't go over particularly well, but we left. And then a couple of days later, I'm sitting at home, and there's a Yankee game on TV, and my dad calls me and goes, "Hey, see that guy hitting right there?" He's like, "That's the guy you met the other day." And from that moment on, man, like, that was it for me. That was my connection. I already liked baseball and playing catch with my dad and all that stuff, but at 7 or 8 years old, I just realized this guy's on TV. I know him. He's my friend, even though, of course, he's not thinking it that way, but that's the way I'm thinking about it. And, man, that's what I want to do. I want to play second base for the Yankees, and I want to be like Willie Randolph, right? And so that day, we all got to take pictures. Okay, and this is the picture. This is my dad. I know it's going to be really tough. I'll get a better picture on there. But my dad is the one on this side. So that's my father right there.
Oh, that's really cool.
Willie Randolph in the middle. And then this other guy was in every single picture. Later, when I got to New York, I guess it was when I went through
it. Like the general?
I don't know who he was. But so in 1995, I think it was 95 or 96, as I went through New York, Willie Randolph was the third base coach. And so I brought this picture and had him sign it for my dad. So this signature took place 20 years after this picture took place, which was kind of cool. I had this same picture. It didn't have my dad in it, but it had, I was there. It was Willie, and then it was this guy. I hated that this guy was in it so much that I took scissors to it and cut him out. I cut the guy out. No. I cut the guy out, and I cut around Willie's head, and I really kind of destroyed the picture. So I don't know what happened to the version that I had, but this is just kind of a cool little memory of something that I have in my that I keep in my office. But Willie Randolph, and I've gotten to know him pretty well. I had him as a coach when I got to New York, and he always comes to the St. John's dinner, which I MC every year in New York. But that's how I fell in love with baseball, though. When I go back to and trace my kind of history, it was that meeting and then kind of putting 2 and 2 together. And at that moment, I knew, I was like, I want to play baseball. I want to play second base for the New York Yankees. I realized over time I couldn't be more opposite than Willie Randolph. I wasn't fast.
You're left-handed.
I'm left-handed. I wasn't fast. I'm not playing second base, and that's when I started going kind of the Guidry, Rigetti, Don Mattingly route. But Willie Randolph kicked it off for me, man. So I love this picture that I still have. My father is still alive, and so it's a pretty cool one to be able to have, and then have him sign it nearly 20 years later.
That's good stuff. You got to show on the video a Willie Randolph highlight of Hal McRae blasting him into the Bronx.
Good one.
That's a good one. Yeah. All right, that will do it for us today.
Everyone
one man's trash.
You. Everybody, absolutely. Good work. I think next show for me, I'm thinking a ball show.
You want to do a ball show?
Yeah, we got some fun story ones in there. I think that's maybe the route we go. We'll figure it out. I will pull out some signed autographed baseballs that are very cherished to me. If you have any suggestions for our show, please, you can hit us up on our Twitter accounts below. And we're also going to try to get some guests over the course of this week. Stay safe, everybody.